Now I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for this one, so let's jump into this. What's happening, guys? Hope your day's going well. Today we're going to review M-STAK by Animal Universal Nutrition. We're going to go over the ingredients so you know what you're putting in your body, and we'll go over my personal effects on this thing. If you're new to the channel, you like stuff like that, hit the subscribe button. Love to have you along for the ride. So I've reviewed their test, their stack, their pack, the creatine, and now we're doing the M-STAK. A lot of people have asked me about this one. We'll get right into this, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. Dosages on this thing. This is supposed to be a 3-week cycle with 1 week off. And basically on training days, you take it 30 to 45 minutes before training. And on non-training days, they say to take it in between meals. So getting that out of the way, I put the ingredient profile right in front of me so we can get into this thing. As you can see, the ingredient profile is a mystery matrix. Don't like when companies do that, but this is Animal. And I think most of their formulas are mystery matrices. So getting that out of the way, let's jump into this. Right on top here, we have natural flavones, sterone complex, 750 milligrams. We got beta-ecdysterone. And you go a couple ingredients down on the ingredient profile, you got turkesterone in there as well. Now, these are considered natural muscle builders. And they're supposed to naturally increase your anabolic effects in the gym. And that, they're not like steroids. They're not like SARMs. They're not like prohormones. Those all attach to the androgen receptors and increase your hormones. These two ingredients are supposed to attach to your estrogen receptors and give you the effects, the anabolic effects of strength and muscle building. But we'll get into the, how this thing hits and my opinion and all this stuff afterwards. We'll talk about it a little bit more. Right in between those ingredients, we have 5-methyl-7-methylhydroxyisoflavone. This has one study from 1970, and it was actually a pretty good study. And it showed that there was an increase in muscle protein synthesis with this ingredient. It was anti-inflammatory. It lowered cortisol levels. It promoted fat loss and increased the metabolism. Now, that was through one study. But over the years, there's been some anecdotal effects from people responding to this, saying, hey, they had some nice increases on this in strength and, taking it long-term muscle building and stuff like that. But keep in mind, one study, but a lot of these ingredients only have a few studies to show that they worked and a few studies to show that they didn't. So it just all depends on how you respond to these ingredients. Then we got phytosterols, providing beta-sitosterol in this. So beta-sitosterol does not have any effects for anabolism. So it's not going to create any anabolic effects for muscle building. But this particular ingredient has shown to help with enlarged prostate, to shrink the prostate. So it's a benefit there. The one concern I have is, they don't list anything in this thing other than just the ingredient, the extract, nothing like that. Phytosterols are supposed to help with cholesterol levels. So they normalize LDL and HDL, and they're supposed to level them out, make you be more healthy if your cholesterol levels are off. The only problem with that, if you come into this with normal cholesterol levels, cholesterol is super important for testosterone. So if we lower, or if this ingredient lowers cholesterol in your body, it can lower your testosterone. So with this ingredient included in this stack here, it's beneficial to cover yourself and add an ingredient or a test booster to it. Maybe like some Long Jack, 400 milligrams, at least to initiate some increase in some free testosterone in your body, just so you kind of cover your butt. Or, if you're going all animal, stack the stack with M-STAK. I'll put the review. I did a review on that too. It's not a bad formula. It's just not a hard hitting elevating testosterone formula, but it's got some good ingredients in it. Next on the list here, we got Anticatabolic Amino Complex, 3 grams. And this consists of L-leucine, isoleucine, valine. Then we got taurine, and we have L-carnitine, acetyl-L-carnitine, one of my favorite forms of L-carnitine. And just so you know, acetyl-L-carnitine and taurine stacked together has some fantastic benefits for energy within the mitochondria, because these two ingredients work synergistically together. So I do like what they did here as far as, keeping in mind the synergy of certain ingredients out there. And I'll put a card. I did some shorts on taurine. I'll put a card up there. L-carnitine is supposed to help with fat mobilization. It's supposed to help get it in the mitochondria and help with the carnitine shuttle. I explained that in one of my videos. It's not really a shuttling mechanism. It's a it's a uh, I don't want to make this too long, but basically in your cell, you got two carnitine molecules, one on the inside of the cell, one on the outside of the cell. And it helps with the idea of bringing these two L-carnitine molecules actually come together, so they create a path into the cell for lipids to into the cell to be used in the mitochondria for energy. So for fat burning effects, increased energy effects, and fat loss. So real short. Then we have an anabolic androgen complex, 1 gram, consisting of ashwagandha. It's plain and simple. Ashwagandha has withanolids in it, and they are steroidal lactones that have been shown to actually decrease cortisol levels. Positives and negatives on this. They're great. If you have a stressful life, ashwagandha is great to have as a supplement in your life because it'll lower those cortisol levels from the increased stress. But if you are not a stressed out person and you're controlling your cortisol levels, then this can lower them too low. So there is something that happens where you feel like a numbing effect. I remember talking to my man GGH, and he was mentioning that sometimes when he dosed ashwagandha in pre-workouts, he felt kind of like he was numb. And that's the effect of ashwagandha. If your cortisol levels are already normal, it can lower them too low and actually really impede your training, your energy levels, and all that good stuff. So it does have some great effects on cortisol levels, which will help with fat loss, will help with testosterone if they're really high. It also has been shown in some studies to increase testosterone through the production of DHEA in the body. Then we have Kaduzu. We have Kaduzu in this. What's up with that? So this has been shown to have protective effects on the liver. Nothing else that I could find but protective effects on the liver. Ain't bad. It's nice to have that in there. I don't know why it's in the adaptogen complex here, but a healthy liver is going to help be good for healthy glutathione production, which is going to help with energy production and other things in the body. But I didn't find anything on this that this has any adaptogen effects, so to speak. Then we got Siberian ginseng, which is a fantastic adaptogen. And Siberian ginseng, which is Eleuthero, is an adaptogen targeting neuropeptide Y, which is related to chronic stress within the body. So this helps with stress during training, which is going to help with energy levels during training and the adaptation to those stresses during training. So fantastic ingredient. I like it. Then we have an insulin potentiating complex with sinulin PF 500 milligrams. Now, fenugreek is actually pretty good. It does not enhance testosterone, so I'm glad that they're being out up front and put it in the insulin category, because this has had 1, 2, or 3 studies to show that it does lower glucose levels. It's a good ingredient for that. So I'm glad they're not trying to throw it in a testosterone formula and try to mislead people like this is actually going to increase testosterone. Then we got banana leaf extract. This has coralsolitic acid in it. So I like seeing that they listed that in there, because that's the ingredient that's supposed to have the direct effect on insulin receptors, which helps with glucose disposal. So it helps with insulin doing its job in your body. Then we have cinnamon bark extract, which I believe is going to be the sinulin PF. And this is going to help with the response of glucose and moving out of the body as well. Then we have alphatic acid here, which is a fantastic ingredient. I don't know how much is in this. I take 25 to 50 milligrams a day myself. And this is a great ingredient because this is actually in the body already. And it's in the mitochondria to help with energy production. This also has oxidative stress benefits. It increases antioxidant enzyme production, and it's a neuroprotectant within the body. So great ingredient. Then we have M-Factor complex with biopremin at 500 milligrams. We got ginger root at first. And ginger root helps with nausea, and it helps with flatulence. So hopefully it's going to help with those protein parts. So jumping right into the next ingredient, grapefruit extract. This is also an ingredient that actually helps with digestion. So as far as I know, grapefruit has other benefits as well. It helps with the bioavailability of substrates as ingredients are being broken down. And it's been shown actually to increase AMPK in the body, which when you respond to AMPK, there's other things the second messengers can respond, like cyclic GMP for energy production. Release of carbohydrates and fats in the bloodstream. Then we have black pepper extract, which is the biopremin. And we haven't talked too much about biopremin. Sorry, I'm spitting there. I'm trying to talk real fast because it's a large formula. But this actually slows the digestion, it slows down the intestinal movement in the intestines to allow ingredients to have time to be absorbed in the body. So that's the big function with black pepper extract. It slows things down and it gives the body ample time to absorb as much of the ingredients that you're taking in as possible. So it's a good ingredient, not bad. Then we have an energy complex, methyl xanthian complex, 500 milligrams. So these are just different xanthian alkaloids. We got caffeine. We got two other forms of caffeine from kola nut and guarana seed. And this is going to be a total of 200 milligrams of caffeine in this thing. And we'll talk about that in a second. But M-STAK by Animal, how did it do? So let's jump into the pack first. I'm going to show you guys the pack. That was a big ingredient profile. Kind of makes me dizzy when I do those. I'm trying to get it done in a certain amount of time. So here's the pack right there. And what I like about Animal is they list on the bottle which one is caffeine. So which one is the energy? So if you want to take this out, let's say you're doing a pre-workout that's got 400 milligrams of caffeine and you don't want an extra 2 and you're taking this before training, this red pill in the pack is the caffeine or the xanthian alkaloids in this thing. So you can actually remove this out and still have all the other ingredients in there. So I like that they do that. They do that in all their formulas. You just got to read through the ingredient profile to find out which pill it is. So I like that they do that. So effects on this thing. I'll tell you the positives, and then we'll do possible negatives on this thing. So the positives on this thing, I'd say about a week and a half in on this, I noticed an increase in strength in the gym that I kind of missed. So I've been off this for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, because I had not a negative effect, nothing harsh, but something that happened, and I was trying to figure out, like, was it from this? Was it from something else I was taking? And it turned out to be from this. And I kind of missed the strength on this thing. I was going into the gym doing pulls and pushes. When this thing really started kicking in about a week and a half to about 2 weeks in, which is a little more than halfway of the cycle, I was noticing some really, really good strength increases. And it was more of a connective strength. So, I mean, I was doing pulls and it was like, whoa, whoa, it was like the connection, like the pull, the contraction, everything I felt stronger. So it did deliver as far as that goes. As far as muscle gain on any formula like this, these ingredients, like let's say the ecdysterone and the turkesterone, most of you all already know this, but there's a lot of you out there that are going to watch this video that don't know this. You're not going to get muscle gain from these ingredients. And the same goes with prohormones, SARMs, steroids, whatever. You're not going to get massive muscle gain unless your diet is in check and your training is intense. And during training, you can really dial in to those muscles, like that mind-muscle connection, like really have an intensity, like when you're doing lats, to really like feel that lat and engage those fibers to actually get them to grow. So I can't say personally, I didn't feel like bigger or swole or like I gained more muscle. Keep in mind though, I'm at my genetic ceiling pretty much. So, how you're going to respond to this, it's all going to be individually based on your estrogen receptor density, your androgen receptor density, how you train and how you eat. So I don't want to be a broken record, but you need to be dialed in to get those other benefits as far as, if you're looking for muscle gain, size, and stuff like that. But it did deliver the strength. Like I noticed, I didn't change anything in my diet, and my strength was going up, my contractional strength and all that stuff. So nice when it came to that. I didn't have any digestion. So let's get into some possible negatives here. I didn't have any intestinal problems like bathroom visits that were bad, but more than 2 people have commented to me or made a comment that they visited the bathroom and their stomach their intestines or their stomach didn't do too well with this formula. I didn't have that problem as far as that goes. Like I was fine. But that second to third week towards the end, I was at work, I was at home, and I started to like feel like my truck or my van was infested with bugs or something, because I'd felt like something was crawling in my hair. It wasn't on the rest of my body, but it felt like it was in my hair. And I was like, God dang. So, I was like, I gotta cut my hair. This is crazy. Do I have like an infestation in my truck? Like, are there gnats or bugs? Well, I didn't do really anything. I just recently cut my hair just the other day and stopped this, and it started to subside as week one off it started to, I started to come like towards the end of week one being in the off cycle of this. So I know personally I responded. I didn't lose any hair, like there was no hair loss or nothing like that. It was just a weird reaction that I personally had to it. I don't know if anybody else has had a reaction to the M-STAK here. If you did, leave a comment down below so people can know. But it wasn't bad. Like, from what I understand, even the stomach issues that people had where the bathroom visits, it wasn't that it was horrible, because sometimes when you're in the gym and you're trying to find that supplement that helps you gain more muscle, helps you gain more strength, sometimes you deal with it and you just accept it and you're just like, whatever, that wasn't too bad. You know what I mean? So I just have to let you guys know that, because that was one of my personal experiences on it. I don't have much more to say on this other than I think pretty much said it all. If you invest your money in something like this, I recommend stacking, especially this one, stacking a test booster to it, or a test boosting ingredient. Phytosterols extract, Long Jack, or their stack formula. And I don't have any discount codes for you guys down below. I'm sorry. I wish I did. This is just my personal opinion, just to actually enhance some of the effects, the strength gains and stuff like that on this product, because these are all stacks. That's why Animal put stack. They have M-STAK, they have stack. And those are designed to be stacked together to increase the benefits in the gym. Of course, like I said, diet, training, intensity, it's got to be there. Sleep, recovery, all that stuff. So I hope this review was helpful for you guys. It's starting to get dark. I just got off work and I wanted to do this review real quick for you guys, because I know a lot of you have been anticipating this one and want to know about this product. I hope that was enough information. It's getting late, but if it wasn't, leave comments down below. Leave a comment down below, your question down below, and I'll be glad to answer it. Other than that, I'm going to shut it down, go in, and it's dinner time for me. You guys have a good one. We'll talk to you next time.